Alright, welcome back, guys. You already know what time it is. It's time for Skyrim Sundays, so we're just going to get right into it. If you guys remember where we were last time, we just left Angeline's, told her about her daughter, we explored a little bit around Solitude. Well, now we're going to go outside of Solitude, we're going to venture out a little bit, probably go into Whiterun, pick up some basic supplies, sell some stuff. Overall, just kind of let you guys see a little bit more as I build up my stats, and then we'll start exploring a little bit, alright?
What do you need?
I do not need anything, my friend. It is nice to level up when you're simply just walking around.
We're going to put this into heavy armor, because the first thing I want to do is put this to where I'm not actually going to, like, lose stamina every time I tiptoe in heavy armor, because that gets old after a while. Alright. Moving on.
Mr. Thayer,
Need a ride?
I would like to hire your carriage.
Where do you want to go?
Mijad would like to go to Whiterun.
Climb and back and we'll be off. Never been to Whiterun before? The Jarl's Palace is something to see. Dragon Search, they call it. Big old dragon skull hanging on the wall.
Mijad's senses are tingling. There appears to be trouble close by.
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
You literally did not give Mijad a chance to get over here. It is not Mijad's fault.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm here, with my shield brothers.
What are Shield Brothers?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
To Mijad. That sounds like a waste of time.
Well, nobody asked you. If you think you're better than we are, go talk to Codlac Whitemane. See what a warrior of true metal is like.
The giant didn't have anything anyways.
And guys, as we do this, I feel like my Mijad voice is off this week. I'm not sure why, but it's just not feeling it. I don't know. But we'll keep going. make use of the fact that they gave us extra crops to harvest, and we'll sell them and we'll get a little bit of extra money, and then we'll go to Whiterun and Make us a little bit more coin.
Where is Mr. Pelagia? Oh well.
Thought I heard an urn root.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stuff in the hide and ask Yorlan to bring it?
Cause trouble in Whiterun and I'll pull you into the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself.
Okay. Not trying to get in there.
Come on in. We got
Oh, right.
warm drinks and warm beds.
Let's see who all we have in here.
I work for Bellathor at the General Goods Store.
Sadie, dear?
Yes, Mum? Life's hard enough with all these men propositioning you. But that bard is the worst.
You mean that bar right there behind you?
That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. Huh!
Perhaps would it help if Mijad talked to Mikhail?
If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of his, though.
I bet these hands would.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best...
Shameful is what it is.
I'm a bard by trade. Perhaps you've heard of me.
I have heard of you. But not for being a bard. But it's because you need to leave Carlota Valencia alone.
Carlotta put you up to this, didn't she? I'm sorry, but that fiery widow is mine. She just doesn't know it yet.
I think that you'll need to just stop all this nonsense. She does not belong to you.
What did you just say? All I heard was a sound of jealousy.
Mijad is warning you one last time. You leave Carlotta alone, or else.
I don't have to take that from you. Never should have come here. Come on, let's see what you're made of.
Would you like to play some more? Mijad can throw these hands. Now get up.
You know how to throw a punch, I'll give you that.
You don't have to give Mijad anything. All you have to do is leave Carlotta alone. Or Mijad will make it worse.
You win. On my honor, Carlotta won't have to worry about me ever again.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you need, my friend?
As you may have just seen, Mijad has taken care of Mikhail. He will not be bothering you anymore.
Really? You convinced that player to stop chasing me?
You are literally sitting
Thank
right
the
there.
gods, but I'll settle for thanking you. Here's some coin for your help.
Thank you. May a road lead to warm sands.
All right then.
Mijad has heard rumblings of a new friend that can be found in the prison. Let us go meet him.
Damn those Grey Maids to oblivion. They want to back the Stormcloaks. They'll get what's coming.
Mijad greets you, my friend.
Tidings, weary traveler. These days it's not often I get approached, at least by other men. They call me Larkspur. That name should tell you anything you need to know, and everything you want to believe.
Mijad is sorry. He is fairly new to Skyrim. Should Mijad know who you are?
Perhaps. You may have heard vicious rumors regarding my appetite for women, and I assure you, they're all true. You may have heard I'm a nefarious rogue who robs and kills and beds your wife, but only if you're rich.
You sound like Mijad's kind of
Don't
person.
care whose wives I bed. You may have heard I'm taller than a giant and as ugly as a troll. And so, I submit to you my person as evidence, and you'll see that I'm chiseled like a sculpture, and that rumor is more mud than stone.
Mijad apologizes, but no. Mijad has never heard of you.
Then consider yourself blessed. You can hear the story of Larkspur from the one who lived it.
Mijad is wondering, if you are so great as you claim, why are you in a dungeon?
Would you believe me if I said I came here for the company?
No, absolutely not.
Such a statement would be made in jest, of course, but not entirely false. I do indeed come here for the company, but only to mock it.
Are you talking about Mijad? Because you may want to clarify. I've already gotten in one fight tonight. Do not make it two.
May I suggest the ribs instead? Far less evidence that way. Not to mention, if you damage my face, maidens from here to the Somerset Isle will weep at such a tragedy. But no, I don't intend to mock you, at least now that I know what's at stake. I come here to mock my former jailers, bound to this squalid dungeon with no chance of a pardon.
So, you mean to tell me, Jad, that you were once a prisoner here?
I'm a bandit, a thief, which might strike you as odd considering this dashing head of mine is still attached to its body. After all, in this land, only the rich get a trial, whether your capital is coin or politics. My pursuers couldn't execute me because I turned myself in. I turned myself in because the Jarl can't risk an execution. With the civil war going on, there's too much turmoil, and the Jarl knows his chair isn't exclusive to his bottom. To execute a bandit who sacks finely clothed men and spreads the coin among the people, well, that won't make that chair any more comfortable.
Mijad is beginning to see where you're coming from. But Mijad wonders, if you are so great and so handsome and so scrupulous with the women folk, why did you become a bandit?
My mother. Truth is, I was a bandit before I was anything else. The bandit business was the family business, and I've been a no-good bandit since birth. My parents made it seem so romantic when I was a child. They would return and tell me tales of great beasts and come back with the skins as proof. Most of the time they brought back books they stole from caravans. They wanted a different life for me, but they weren't naive.
Could you explain to Mijad what you mean? Because I grew up on the road in caravans. I do not know this life that you speak of.
They also taught me the trade, how to knock an arrow, shoot a troll between the eyes, and harvest its fat. As you might expect, I was a natural. They taught me how to kill a man, too, where the weak points were in his body and mind, how a simple illusion spell can pierce harder than any blade. When I went out on my own, however, I soon learned that the life of a bandit was far from romantic. There was no sense to the carnage. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor, armed or defenseless. If you walked the road, you paid the toll.
I know your struggles, brother. But it appears to Mijad that even bandits should have at least some form or sense of honor, no?
I agree, but you'll have a hard time convincing a bandit of his moral obligation. Gold is far more persuasive.
So this band of bandits, this guild as you call it, how did you convince a bunch of unruly bandits to join you?
It all changed when I read a book called The Beggar Prince, and I realized the beggars with eyes and ears on the streets were the key. I took what money I had and befriended them. I learned of the comings and goings of the city's wealthiest merchants and the mercs they hired. Soon, my whisperers included the townsfolk in the market district and the farmers who worked outside the castle walls. I knew what shipment was going out and when. I knew the men tasked to guard it, what time they woke up, their favorite drink, if they pissed in the river or liked to use a latrine.
So, it sounds to me, Jad, like you knew their routines, you had the information that you needed. But you have not explained to me, Jad, how you got the men to handle your tasks.
Gathering the muscle for the job was easy. Most bandits are too stupid to organize a guild, but they know the shiny things are worth a lot of coin. The whole thing made for good business, and after every successful raid, I made sure to fill the coffers of the lower district. That's how I became Poverty's Prince.
And it makes
I really
sense.
invested in the very beggars and workers that the wealthy try so hard to ignore.
So, if you had it so well, why would you give it all up to turn yourself in?
When the merchants found it too difficult to stop our raids, Alfred Battleborn used his considerable resources to threaten the people. He put the fear of the Daedra in the townsfolk, and the cost of information went up. Plus, the information we did get was unreliable. Alfred paid the beggars to misdirect us, or send us straight into ambushes. Say what you want about the Battleborns, but they're a clever group.
Would you be willing to indulge me, Jad, in a little bit about your life as a bandit?
Now that's a time I don't mind revisiting. They called me Poverty's Prince, which, like the king in rags, is both the title of disrespect and honor. Whether a person thought it one or the other could tell you all you needed to know about their station. I myself accepted it with great pride.
Mijad would only imagine that as somebody who gave to the poor and held down the elite, that you would feel a great sense of pride. I can understand that, my friend.
What you say is true, and why I'm no true hero. I only wish I could have given more to the ones who needed it most.
You mentioned to Mijad before about how you were in this dungeon. How did you get out if you were perhaps almost set for execution?
What's there to say? The people of Whiterun think my time here was a sham, that my standing among the poor gave me refuge in this foul pit. I admit, I too thought as much, and went so far as to tell those who supported my cause not to fret. I thought I'd live as the Jarl of the dungeon with all the food I could eat and all the ale I could drink.
You make it seem to me, Jad, that you are expecting a paradise. But this is a dungeon. Had you not considered things could be much worse?
It wasn't so. The guards aren't beholden to some idealistic sense of honor. They just want to fatten their coin purse. A guard is only concerned with following the orders of the man who pays him, and I'm not referring to the Jarl.
You lead Mijad to believe that you are mistreated. Is this so?
That's putting it a bit mildly. They beat me, starved me, and they gave me a health potion so they could beat me some more. When I refused to drink, they brought in a healer to restore me so that I'd survive another round of torture. It was a foul trick. The burns, the scars, none of it remained to show the horror of what I endured. I'm afraid I would have lost my sanity completely if not for the kind words of the man in the cell next door.
What man?
He'd wait until the guards have left, until the night grew still, and as I drifted toward the brink of madness, he'd slowly start to speak. He never addressed me directly. He'd simply tell stories and laugh heartily at his own jokes. They were such awful jokes. But his voice was filled with so much life, almost as if his heart was so full of joy he couldn't help but give some of it to me.
You speak rather well of this prisoner, and you've been out for a while. Mijad wonders, did you ever get a chance to thank this prisoner?
I wish I had. When my sentence was over, I was ushered quickly to the Bannered Mare, where friends and companions came to celebrate my release. We drank and feasted all night and passed along old stories like bottles of vintage wine. By the time I returned to this dungeon a week later, I found his cell empty.
Are there any other tales that you would like to share with me, Jad?
If it's a tale of danger and intrigue you wish to hear, then I've got a few. Now, there are many perils I encountered on the road as a bandit, but the most terrifying by far I met in the Drunken Huntsman. She was a raven-haired lass, Dunmer, with streaks of gold framing eyes like midnight. She called herself an artist. I asked if she could paint my friend's picture. She said her price was 500 gold. 500 for a bloody picture, I thought, but I was drunk, so I paid. Bloody was right, and it was my friend that night who paid.
Oh no. I believe with that, I have heard enough for right now.
Then how about we go to the tavern and find some keen lasses? Telling stories always puts me in the mood. So does anything else.
That sounds good to me, Jad. But how are you so confident that you would have success after so long with the ladies?
Because I'm rather confident they want me in their bed. And why not? I'd go to bed with me, and I don't even like men. I'm even running out of lavender flowers to leave on their beds. It's my signature, you see. It gives them a token to remember me by, and it helps me from making the mistake of bedding the same woman twice.
But have you ever considered that there is more to life than just chasing these women?
You make it sound like life is something complex. Life's about one thing, and one thing only. Boredom, or rather, escaping it. Everything we do is an attempt to fill that time. I choose to bed a lass. Another may choose to marry one. The difference between that man and me is the level of commitment. Not to the lass, mind you, but to time.
Nijad is not sure he understands what you're talking about. What do you mean when you say commitment to time?
To stay interested, that man fills his life with wives and children. I'm gambling that even now, I can find something else to fill those empty days. Which is where your need of a companion and my needs collide. I'm willing to adventure with you if you'll have me. The alternative is quite scary.
Well, Larkspur, you are in luck today. Nijad was just staying on his way up here. That Nijad needs a follower to help guard and to follow and carry the burdens. I believe I could make use of your help, Larkspur. Come with me, Jad, for I need your assistance.
Poverty's Prince at your service.
Alright guys, so I know that was a hella long introduction to Larkspur, but in order to get him as a follower, you have to go through all of those dialogue prompts and really get to know who he is as a character. And obviously, as you guys could tell, he's not part of the vanilla Skyrim. So I did want to go through that with you guys, let you guys see the dialogue, get to know him so you can start bonding with him as a character. And we're going to move forward in next week's episode, the two of us going out, adventuring, and seeing what trouble we can get into. So, I'm going to call it quits for now because it's already going to be a little bit longer than my usual Skyrim Sunday videos. I'm the Amazing Bacon. I'll talk to you guys later.